let's say hypothetically, for the sake of argument, of course, that I start stream early. Inconceivable. Except it's actually happening, so I guess not. Hi. Hello, everybody. I am back. I didn't stream over the weekend. Um, Saturday the weather was really bad, and then Sunday was Sunday. I really didn't feel like streaming. I'm back now. You know, I'm considering like what happens if I get burnout or whatever, because I feel like I've felt that at several points on with regards to this stream, but I don't really know that well how to I don't know how to deal with it. You know, you're not supposed to push through burnout, I'm pretty sure, because that just leads you to like hate what you do and whatever. It like leads you to hate the thing that made you burn down in the first place. And I had just been thinking before stream that I might want to just be like, okay, for a couple weeks I'm gonna try to be consistent, and then at the end of a couple weeks, then I'm like, all right, I'm taking a break, and then do that. But I don't know. You know, I want to grow the channel, of course, and time away from streaming keeps me from doing that. So, but anyways, I don't want to think about that too much on stream. Uh, what I'd rather do is enjoy the sort of, well, enjoy being a relative term given the things I tend to talk about on stream, but appreciate that there's not that much going on today. Obviously, the State of the Union happened. I might talk about that a little bit, but you know, the State of the Union doesn't usually end up being that much of consequence uh, on its own. So just no pressure, I guess. Oh goodness. You know, Spring Forward happened for the United States recently, just over the weekend. So we actually lost an hour. So I got over the weekend. I think I got like collectively about half an hour less of sleep than I usually would. I tried to go to bed early on the night that it was happening, but you know, things don't quite always work out. No, did I see Grantham in this room? If so, then oh shit, you know, like not long time no see, I guess. Yeah, there he is. What's up? Always good to see a familiar face. I'm gonna... I don't know what to do with this, actually. Okay, well, I should have used it. I was gonna use it, like, here, so that I could go over the, icy bit, like, relatively easily. But oh well. Look out, Grantham! Ah, I didn't hit anybody. Lame. Holding this out. No! Son of a... How do you do that? You have to... Oh, you have to go off a lot sooner, don't you? Hmm. Somebody got that star, I think. Maybe? Not entirely sure. Alright. I think I know what to do with this. We're gonna just do some of that. Ow! Damn. Very sloppy, but that worked out. Please don't hit me. Thank you. Dude! I can't believe he didn't hit me. He landed right in front of me. Okay, well. Not the best item, but I suppose I could just chuck it. Sorry, bro. I'm in third place. I feel like I've been not driving that well and also not been getting that great of item pulls. I'm not even going to bother going that way. Sorry, Will Vader, but Mario Kart Wii is a Machiavellian's game. That works out, I think? Kind of? Not really, but better than nothing. In fact, I think I'd rather just stay in second. Oh, that's not good. Damn it. How does this always happen? No, don't hit the penguin. Okay. And fourth. Alright. The ending section for that was all bad for me. That section with the ice just fucking kills me with the penguins going around there. Oh well. Ugh. Actually, there was one thing that I think could be of unique interest to this stream because it actually pertains to something I know about specifically. Hey, buddy. Emma Austin 1, welcome to chat. Hello. Hope you're having a good afternoon. Or good morning. I don't know what time it is, what region you're in, and whatever, but for me it's the afternoon, so it is customary for me to wish good afternoon. Anyways, time permitting here, I wanted to get into this this piece from the Associated Press. It's about Haiti, which was actually the subject of my bachelor's thesis in college. I wrote my thesis about the culture of humanitarian aid in Haiti, particularly regarding the earthquake that happened when I was in, I think, 4th grade. In 2010, there was a big earthquake in Haiti, and I remember learning in another anthropology class that Haiti never really recovered from that. The humanitarian aid efforts from that were still ongoing, and it was considered to be a pretty big foreign aid failure, like international aid failure, and I wanted to investigate why exactly that was. Now, in retrospect, this thesis was full of flaws, and I should have done. There are plenty of things that I would have done differently if I were writing it now. But I think that's the nature of the nature of hindsight and all that sort of stuff. And I think that also. Emma Austin, thank you very much for the follow. Glad to have an extra set of eyes on the stream. But I think some of the core of what I was saying in my thesis remains true. And what I found, what I remember reading in my thesis, it seemed to be the consensus among other anthropologists and academics who had visited Haiti, and especially with people who had cultivated grassroots relationships on the ground after the earthquake and all that stuff, is that really the humanitarian aid efforts ended up being a lot about PR and a lot about doing what sort of Western donors had in mind. rather than like genuinely striking at the heart of a lot of the systemic issues that Haiti was experiencing that in fact existed long before the earthquake. I learned that this was basically because of the nature of Haiti's relationship with the countries that ended up providing aid for it in the wake of the earthquake. Those efforts were kind of doomed to fail from the start, you know? Like the numerous debts that Haiti had been plunged into by various countries looking to militarily occupy it or incorporate it into some sphere of influence and things like that. It basically led to a massive disregard for the civic institutions, or at least the shadow of civic institutions in Haiti that could have existed, in favor of, like, well, what do the NGOs have to say? What do these, like, you know, granted, some of them experts, but, like, people from other countries who have their own conceptions of how development is supposed to go. Like, what do they have to say about the matter? And oftentimes a lot of community rebuilding efforts in Haiti were co-opted and sometimes outright supplanted by large NGOs and a lot of times businesses as well. You know, it wasn't just nonprofits on the ground in Haiti rebuilding. It was also, there were a lot of Western companies and for-profit businesses doing their thing. You know, telecom companies, water companies, infrastructure companies, and while obviously the idea behind that is like, well, you want to provide some investment into Haiti to sort of build it up. The way they went about it actually ended up making things worse because, like, the privatization was not what Haiti needed. That was just another way for wealth to leave the country. And you know, there was little regard paid to the public sector. You know, basically every public function in Haiti, the international community decided, like, we're going to fund NGOs and private companies to do this instead of working with the Haitian government to build these civic institutions to stand on their own with public money and things like that. Because, you know, they didn't trust the Haitian government. They viewed them as corrupt. And like, obviously there's a lot of corruption in Haiti, but that's as a product of there being no stable civil society, you know? Very, very complicated situation with a very deep history, and it's getting worse. As we've seen, there's a lot of gang violence in Haiti. There's been a coup recently, actually, I think more than one. And I can't show the Associated Press video directly, but it does have subtitles, and there's no narration, so thankfully I could just recount it to you as if, you know, as if it's playing. So, Haitian families suffer hunger and displacement. We have some footage of Port-au-Prince, the capital city, where a lot of people are crowded around in an apartment complex. Street battles between anti-government gangs and police have crippled Haiti's fragile economy. Oop. Sorry, the race is starting. I might not be able to... Ah, no! Gang attacks worsened on February 29th. When Haiti's prime minister was in Kenya, requesting a UN-backed deployment of police to tackle the gangs. Now, obviously, I think, you know, the police on their own. What? I can't concentrate. Sorry. The police on their own, you know, people with guns, are not going to solve this problem. It can be a valid stopgap to incorporate the police in some manner, but I think this is the wrong way to go about it. You know, obviously, it's understandable that this course of action be taken, but I think that the use of UN peacekeepers to do this, instead of supplementing any potentially existing, if, like, very marginal Haitian institutions, is a recipe for this to just keep going unaddressed. You know? Especially because, you know, with the Kenyan peacekeeping troops, I remember having seen this story another time, and I remember thinking to myself, man, you know, the UN, I think, knows that this isn't going to end well. You know, it's just you're basically just gonna get back into square one where there's, like, cops and gang members fighting it out, but this time it's gonna be UN cops, and the UN is gonna catch heat, but then because they've sort of compartmentalized their peacekeeping troops to each country, they're going to be able to, like, shift the blame to Kenya, which is, you you know, it's unfortunate. Just seems like this is a bad situation that's only going to get worse, because it's like the same problem keeps rearing its head over and over again, that nobody's putting in the work to build up Haitian civil society with you know, public institutions, instead of like police being sent there to protect private property and whatnot, right? And of course, I'm trying to buy time here so I can race without having to peer over at the video, because that seems to have detrimented me for the first half of this. Whew. Glad I used that mushroom when I did. I don't know if there are any shortcuts on this track. But if there are, I like don't know them well enough to try to take them, I think. Okay. Ooh, Lucia. Don't mind if I do. Okay. Alright, that worked out. Nice. Good stuff, good stuff. Oof. Can't believe I got third that race with how badly that initial part went. So we have, where were we? Yes, the Prime Minister of Haiti was visiting Kenya to talk about that deployment of troops. Shelters are overflowing, with more than 300,000 people that had to flee their homes because of gang violence, and another 15,000 displaced. Yeah, things are not good on the ground in Haiti. And here there's a Haitian man that's being interviewed by the press. They, the gangs, came with big guns. We have no guns. And we cannot defend ourselves. All of us. The children are suffering. UN officials say that half the country's more than 11 million inhabitants don't have enough to eat, and 1.4 million are starving. We have another displaced person, a woman, being interviewed. I'm a mother of 6, and I have to feed them every day, give them food, and water. But since I've had to leave my home, I just sit there with nothing to cook. The suspense of the primaries is killing me. I'll get to that. Life is very, very bad. I hold the kids in my arms, but I have nothing to give them. That's a woman who's a mother of 6 kids in Haiti, being interviewed saying, we don't have enough food here. All I think goes to accentuate the dire nature of the situation on the ground and stuff. But, the UN peacekeepers, as useful as that's going to be potentially in the moment for like, putting a lid on the gang violence, maybe, that's not gonna, give people food. That's not what the cops do. On some level, even an ACAB individual such as myself will admit that, like, in a situation this serious, when there is no civil society to speak of, not even barely even a capitalist civil society, you do need a peacekeeping force, and that means cops. In this situation, you need cops, but those cops need to be Haitian cops. They need to be in some way tied to the Haitian population, and shouldn't really be. I think you should try to get it to the point where you're not relying on UN peacekeepers, because otherwise, as we saw actually after the 2010 earthquake with the recovery effort, massive abuses of human rights will take place, and they get viewed, in some ways justifiably so, as an occupying army. Seriously, one of the biggest problems in the aftermath of the 2010 earthquake was that there were people like this crying out for, like, hey, we need help, we need this from the UN, we need these things, we need houses, we need We need food. We need, like, our own means of economic subsistence, and the UN wasn't willing to give it to them. What's the name of this course? I think it's Big Express City. You know, and it seems like there were certain things that were being given to Haiti that they didn't want or need, like bottled water, especially because sometimes it wasn't even being given to them; it was being sold. You know, it's like, what what are they going to buy it with? Money? You think people in Haiti have that kind of money? No. AP goes on to say that the country's main bottled water operators said they were shutting down and people queued to buy what was left in the stores. And there's some footage of people getting water from like a faucet, a little pipe coming out of the ground, filling up jugs and buckets. So yeah, things are not good there. And I think in some ways the Associated Press is kind of misrepresenting the issue as something that needs to be solved with the UN peacekeepers and something that would be solved with the UN peacekeepers, when that's not the case. The UN peacekeepers, at the end of the day, are just another gang with guns. You could argue that they are serving a better purpose than the other gangs with guns in the area, but at the end of the day, the incorporation increasingly of the UN into Haitian affairs and the international community providing all these services that there should be a civil societal structure for undermines the capability of this, it undermines the ability to actually solve the problems that they're experiencing. A lot of this political instability is a result of their not being a proper government, not being proper civil institutions in Haiti. And by relying more and more, by bringing in more and more of the international community to plug up these gaps, they're basically making the end objective all that much further off. They're making the problem worse because they're sort of cementing the fact that Haiti can't build this on their own. And not only that, but they're not really, on some level, they're not willing to help Haiti build up its own sort of independent existence, you know? Hit the wrong part of the mushroom there. Luckily, it looks like a lot of people aren't that familiar with peaks, so kind of got away with it. You think they're actually serious about banning TikTok this time? No shot. I don't think they're serious about it. I think it's just showmanship. They don't actually intend to follow through. Because it's mostly Republicans doing this, right? We've seen this with other issues. The fight for banning something is often more politically effective than actually banning it. You know how many Republicans use TikTok? It's a lot. You know, TikTok is too integrated into the social media landscape and too integrated into the political landscape for it to be a feasible move to ban it. And there's also no justification that they could really write into a bill for banning TikTok that doesn't work for every other social media site. You know? And of course, add on to that most Republicans that are, that are constantly talking about this, they're not true believers or anything. They're all grifters. Do you stream regularly? Yeah, I try to stream every other day. I'm not always able to because of well, my own sometimes poor motivation and also because of work and stuff. But yeah. So since I'm streaming today, check back. And if you want to see me stream next time, it would be Wednesday. And I usually stream at the same time of day every time. So like, like early afternoon. Try to be there. Yeah, I mean, no pressure, obviously. I'm trying to have this be a very low stakes, low pressure environment for everybody, including myself. Even though I talk about topics with very high stakes, you know, stuff like politics. That was a really well-placed banana. Oh, mushroom glitch. Hee. We'll see if another blue shell comes. Pretty good low trick. Looks like no blue shell, so I'm clear. Nice. I'll pretty consistently do well on Mushroom Peaks, because I'm the only people that knows how to drive that course. Such a goofy out track. Yeah, there's not much for me to wrap up the Associated Press thing, the Haiti thing with something I haven't already said. Basically, you know, if we're actually looking to solve the innumerable humanitarian crises that keep happening in Haiti, what you have to do is invest massively in the public sector so that Haiti can actually stand relatively on its own 2 feet. Right? Obviously, no country can fully do that because we live in a globalized world, and every country's economy is connected to every other country's economy in a certain way. But with Haiti, things are especially bad where, like, it really doesn't have a leg to stand on. And it's like the UN is selling them crutches that they'll eventually, like, fucking, I don't know, take away or something. It's not a sustainable solution to the problem what the UN has been doing for the past, like, 20-ish years. I also watched your previous Random Out of Bond stream, which you played 16 days ago. Really? Huh. 16 days ago. What even was that? The VOD would be, VOD would probably be gone by now. Yeah, I don't remember what that one was. Wait, was that the, one where I talked about that guy that self-immolated? Or was that the stream before that? I don't know. Superstar Dystopia. Anyways, the reason I talked about Haiti is because it's like, it's an issue that's like near and dear to my own, I don't know, learning experiences, I guess. You know, obviously, I've never been there. I don't really have any family from there or anything like that. It's just I did my thesis on it in college, and it's like, you know, that kind of matters to me because I feel like I did learn a lot about it when I was researching for that. If you say, can I show you cool art theme for your channel? Thank you for the offer, but no, I don't do commissions, not right now, anyways. Oh wow, that's a shortcut. And I'm now in 3rd place. If you have issues and pay me, you can pay me after completion. I said no. All right, just make sure you understand. I returned. Welcome back, Gengarite. Gengarite 29. Good to see you again. And I'm now in 3rd place with no item. This is incredibly dangerous. Can't believe I lived. Down. That works. Now I'm in a pretty good position. 2nd place with 2 bananas and another one in the queue. I like that. Shock happened, but should be fine. Yep, another banana. Alright, whew. I had Liquid Death for the first time. It tastes identical to another sparkling water brand we have in Estonia. Oh, really? Oh, yeah, I've seen that brand. Liquid Death. I remember, my dad and I were at the store one time, and we saw there was the Liquid Death stuff on the shelf, and we were like, that can go so fucking hard. Yeah, it was really funny because we were joking about, like, this is what companies have to fucking resort to market sparkling water to men. Because it's like, I don't know why, but there is a gendered association between, like, sparkling water and women. I don't know how strong of an association it is, but I know it's strong enough that they have to make the can be, like, fucking born to shit, forced to wipe, or some shit in order to, like, sell it to men. Yeah, pointlessly gendered. You see, if we abolished gender, this wouldn't happen. Everybody would be able to drink the Liquid Death water brand, instead of it being specifically marketed to men. Many such cases. No, this track, I'm so bad at this track. I had Fiji too. It was pretty anticlimactic when I tried it. I think Fiji is just a brand that I've had like just regular bottled water from Fiji. As far as I know, it's just like, oh, it's expensive because the water like reservoir that they use is like somewhere in the actual island of Fiji or something, or they just use that to sort of justify it being expensive as hell. Yeah. I didn't know Fiji did sparkling water, though. It was €2 in the store I got it from. €2 for one bottle. Yeah, okay. Oh, it wasn't sparkling? Okay, yeah. Yeah, I feel like usually you get Yo, what's up, 1v3? I feel like usually you would get bottled water for a lot cheaper. Then again, inflation fucking sucks for, like, literally everybody right now. Except for the rich people, because they own all the shit that gets sold at, like, massively inflated prices. So, you know, who knows, ultimately. I gotta go this way. That worked out. My mom hates it when I buy bottled water. Really? That's a really strong feeling to have. I mean, I usually don't need to buy bottled water because, like, I have a reusable bottle that I can just take with me. Water comes from the tap, too? Yeah, okay. it gets boring. I mean, it's just water. Like, I think, water's like a drink that I don't really... I used to be a lot more of like a soda person, or like flavored drinks and whatnot. But over time, I think I started caring less about the taste of a drink and more about like, oh, hydration and stuff. Because that's important. And I started caring more about taste in food rather than drink. I don't know. I think water bottles are like a placebo effect, not gonna lie. It definitely could be. But, you know. Water from the tap, though, that's good. I love lemonade. Lemonade's really good. It's got hella sugar in it, though. I can't drink lemonade that much, unfortunately, because I have geographic tongue. That might be another thing that has sort of deterred me a little bit from drinking sodas and things like that. Is that I like literally it makes my tongue look like a map of the world and shit like that. That's what geographic tongue does to a motherfucker. Yeah. I think lemonade specifically, I have issues with, and then also sometimes I like to eat like red and green bell peppers just as like a nice part of like a veggie tray or whatever. Just cut up a regular. Is that a real condition? Yeah, I was actually gonna tell a fun story about how one of my professors in college, who was awesome and was also one of my teacher crushes, didn't know that didn't know that geographic tongue was a real thing and thought it was something that her husband just made up to avoid eating certain foods. But no, it's real. And my dad has it too. Geographic tongue, so like there are certain foods, it happens with really acidic stuff. You know, sometimes cinnamon, but a lot of times, you know, like the peppers, lemon, lime, you know, a lot of stuff that has a lot of acid in it. Pineapple too. Pineapple does that to me. That's why I can only ever eat dehydrated pineapples. When the acid gets on your tongue and your taste buds, it starts, I don't know what it does, but it like creates these weird raw patches on your tongue and it becomes really irritable. And after a while, it starts to hurt. Like if you eat too much of that stuff, it'll start to hurt to eat that because your tongue has pain receptors in it. It's a muscle. So that prevents me from eating and drinking certain stuff. We had a food dryer for like 2 months because my uncle didn't need it. That's a thing? Damn. I wish I had one of those. Yeah. So yeah, I guess, you know, long story short, the geographic tongue and some other stuff are probably contributing factors to why I don't drink a lot of sparkling drinks anymore. I'll still do it every now and then, but it's not something I do on the regular. Because I also found out, like, the sodas that I really like, they're also not great for my skin. He does a lot of cooking with a YouTube channel that has 5K subs? God damn, nice flex. Holy shit. Train's gonna come. Yep. Knew it. I always get uneasy when I have a fake item box in first. Even if I have another item trailing behind me. I gotta get rid of it. Here, I'll just put this here. Okay, that works. Okay. A friend who's 5'1", he claims it's considered tall in his country. Now I doubt that they're, like, being sincere, but depending on the country, they might not be lying. There are certain countries where the average height is so small that 5'1" would be considered tall. But those countries are very, like, obscure. He's Asian, I'll give you that much. And he could possibly be from one of those countries. Most of them are in like Southeast Asia, where there's still a very large presence of tribal societies and stuff. Oh, dude, poor Toad. Yeah, Indonesia, but even Indonesia's a little bit more developed. I'm thinking the way out of the way ones, you know, like Papua New Guinea, Timor, or whatever. Oh, he's Indonesian? Okay. Well, you know, maybe that is like above average height in Indonesia. Epic shortcut. This shortcut is so broken. And of course I'm getting blue shelled. Oh well, what are you gonna do? I was like 170 centimeters at his current age. Damn. Alright, epic shortcut time. Yay! Nice. That was good. I'm gonna try to hold on to these 2 mushrooms if I can. It might not be possible, but... Indonesia is around 185, depending on how many countries you think exist. Really? Like, ranked 185th for average height or whatever? Oh, what? I didn't know that happened. Oh well. Looks like I'm probably gonna get 4th this race. You know, in retrospect, that makes sense. That, that cow would be there to block the shortcut on the last lap. Because otherwise I'd be hella unbalanced. It's almost how tall I am right now. Just just ignore the pass and I'll just ignore everything, really. Yeah. How tall am I? I'm like 5'8". So in centimeters, that'd be what? 6'6" would be 2 meters flat, right? Two, 4, 6, 8. So subtract. I'm like 1 meter 80, I think. I'm the same height as Steve from Minecraft. I'm better at temperature in metric than I am with height, but yeah, 180 centimeters. So you're taller than me. Congrats. Yeah. And you know, I think that's actually above average height in the United States, or it might be right at average. The average height changes every now and again. I remember there have been a few different points, like, across the years where I was like, what was the average height in America? And it's been like 5'7", 5'9", 5'7" again, 5'6", 5'8", whatever. It goes back and forth. Probably like 5 years younger than you. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I mean, I'm 23, so I'm also apparently I'm according to most people who I've had the pleasure of meeting in real life, I'm a bit older than I look, which I take as a compliment because it means I take good care of myself and I don't look haggard and sleep deprived like a typical 23-year-old might be expected to, you know. But also, I feel like I'm now at the age where I start to care a little bit less if I look old or young, and care a bit more whether I look like I'm taking care of myself or whether I look really bad and like out of shape or disheveled or whatever. Puberty hit me like a 50 cal compared to you. Holy shit. Yeah, you know, puberty hit me pretty hard too. It was just the starting point, I think, for me was way lower. Before I really like, God, I didn't hit 5 foot nothing until 10th grade, and I didn't like in ninth grade. I had a really squeaky voice, not a lot of hair. You know, this was back when I was 14. I was like 4'10" and didn't even weigh 100 pounds. Like I was a shrimp in at the beginning of high school, and then like, you know, so it's been a long time coming. I have sideburns and a mustache already. I would have sideburns and mustache, but I shave every week, so. Also, my voice is really deep now compared to when I was like 14, 15. Oh yeah, I forget. Not every country has the same grade system. So 10th grade would be when you're 15 to 16-ish. And ninth grade, which is like a bit before I hit puberty. That's like or rather when before puberty hit me. Ninth grade would be when you're usually like 14 to 15-ish. Although, you know, and that like doesn't count people who skipped a grade or something. I'm 14, so probably gonna look 30 sometime soon. In my experience, there were a lot of guys who got really tall, like when they were in middle school and early high school, and then just kind of stopped growing, and like they didn't get that much taller after that. And then it took me forever to start growing. You know, even in college, I was actually shorter. At the start of college, I was actually shorter than most other people in my class. You know, like when I was a freshman, I was shorter than most of the other freshmen. But then, like as college went on, I actually started outgrowing people. Like at the end of senior year of college, I was taller than most of the other seniors. Which, I mean, you know, average height, people are short, people are tall, whatever. Take that for what you will. We have 1 to 8 classes in primary school and 1 to 4 or 5, 6 for high school. I see. In the U.S., we measure like primary and secondary education as K through 12. K being kindergarten, and then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up to 12. And 12th grade is when you're like 17 to 18-ish. That's like the end of high school. So, yeah, I don't know. It's you know, sometimes I don't really consider that much how this would translate to other countries' education systems, because I've only ever known this one. Even my mom, who grew up in Morocco, uh, like she went to mostly American schools. I think she went to a couple of French schools, uh, at different points, but she also went to American schools, so they would be the American system. We say group 1 to 8 and class 1 to 4, 5, 6. Group and class. Okay. Group and class. I see. Nice try, bud. I'm trying, dude. I don't speak Dutch. I kind of assume that that's pronounced like the Green Party in the Netherlands, like GroenLinks. And then class is pretty self-explanatory, I think. Now, I remember how this track went last time. I just need to not get bean cornered. Ow. The best item in the game! Imagine not speaking the language of water, and you're talking about bottles. That's true. Bomb! Okay. There was 2 bombs. Bubble, bubble, drip, drop. Now you're speaking the language of water. Here, I'm gonna bag for this. Okay, that's something. Please make this a reality. Ah, Xylon MK, welcome back to chat. Yes, that would be a perfect thing for me to talk about. So I don't think it's going to happen, but holy shit, would it be funny if it happened? Especially because there is some credible indication that like that is at least one of the many thoughts in like U.S. administration officials' heads right now. I checked into this a little bit beforehand to make sure that it wasn't just like somebody like pulling a funny, you know, and it is real. The story is real. Haha, is real, is real, etc. It was the Jerusalem Post reported on, or not the Jerusalem Post. It was the Times of Israel. And they actually were referring to something from the New York Magazine, which is, I don't know how reputable it is, but I don't think it's, like, super unreputable, right? Like, I think the word of the New York Magazine is at least worth something, especially because they did an interview with some administration officials and some people in politics, and they seem to have more or less similar things to say. Oh, that guy doesn't know. It's supposed to go this way. A badass death metal guitar riff stuck in my head. I have a guitar riff that will forever be stuck in my head, but it's not from death metal. What? It bounced off of nothing. It's the Bad to the Bone riff. Ow. Me dying to Baby Shark? That's true. Fourth? Okay. I'll take it. Let's check out this story. Please, I need this to be true. We must manifest the funniest timeline. Yeah, here we go. Times of Israel. White House exploring how to force Netanyahu out, according to a report. I'm not going to read the full thing from Times of Israel, because I think there's only a couple... Well, no, actually, it's not very long. Maybe I will read the full thing. Growing frustration with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's handling of the ongoing war in Gaza has led U.S. officials to explore what can be done to force the collapse of his government, according to an unconfirmed U.S. news report. Can't wait till we get the 69,420 channel points getting closer and closer. At that point, you just become the #1 chatter, and like the best out of all of them, I think. An Israeli expert who frequently consults for U.S. officials is quoted by New York Magazine as saying, "I have been asked by a serious administration figure what it is that will force the Netanyahu coalition to collapse. They were interested in the mechanics. What can we demand which will collapse his coalition?" So kind of like, not like all media goes dark, the military goes in and throws Netanyahu into the ocean, but rather like kind of a soft coup where they're like putting pressure on Israel to do X, Y, or Z that makes Netanyahu like leave the government or something. Like, oh, we need you to do this, but like the thing that they're asking him to do is so unpopular or whatever that he like just gets BTFO'd for it, like removed from the parliament. I fucked that up big time. Give me item. Imagine Netanyahu gets SEAL Team 6. Yeah, I would love that timeline. Unfortunately, that's definitely not what's going to happen, unless things get really bad. In which case, you know, wouldn't that be something, huh? But yeah, this is, if he gets forced out of government, that could be good, it could be bad, also. I don't know who would replace him, is the thing. I think that's what's, what would make or break this. Now. Wow, that actually cut off quite a lot. I know that Joe Biden, despite being a self-professed Zionist, learn turn skip. What turn skip? I think I know all the tricks already on this track. It's part of the reason I hate it so much, because there's so many things that you have to know. Lena's in the purple juice? Oh, okay, I got you. I got you. Hey, there we go. I got it. What was I saying about, oh yeah, Biden, despite himself being a Zionist, really doesn't like Netanyahu, because I think Biden isn't, while Biden is a Zionist, I don't think he actively lusts for the destruction of all Palestinians, and Netanyahu does. So, you know, Biden, if there is a two-state solution, I think Biden would be happy with that. But Netanyahu is happy with nothing more or less than like the complete destruction of everything related to Palestine. You know, and it's so much the case that like. This is so much, like, to such a degree that Netanyahu is not, like, good at politics. He's like, making a lot of really dumb political decisions from the perspective of, like, national interests and stuff. Whereas Joe Biden, for my disagreements with him, is not an idiot, right? And I have no doubt that, like, when Joe Biden says that he wants, like, oh, the best interests of America and Israel and whatever, he does mean that. And he has at least a decent idea of what those interests actually are from a material perspective. Now, there are still some areas where he's operating in a very outdated mindset, you know, like 20th century mindset. But, like, I'll maintain, Biden isn't an idiot. Netanyahu kind of actually is. And Biden also isn't a genocidal maniac, not actively anyways. He's still, you know, complicit and participating in it, but there's a degree of separation there. I'm scared of my trimester grade in math, aren't we all? I never liked math very much in school. Here we go. A U.S. expert quoted in the reports says that the White House realizes that Netanyahu is in a corner of his own making. He has no room to maneuver. He's screwing us. The politics of this have to completely change, and I think time is running out. The report comes hours after the release of a hard-hitting MSNBC interview with President Joe Biden, in which he highlighted deep concerns in Washington over civilian deaths in Gaza, asserted that Netanyahu is doing more harm than good to Israel and its interests. Yeah, there we go. That's what I was talking about. And called the planned IDF operation in southern Gaza, in Rafah, a red line. And Netanyahu has already indicated that like he's just going to cross that red line, no, no reservation about it. So now I think the question is like, so what do they do to force his government to collapse and stuff? Joe Biden and his administration have set all sorts of red lines and do's and don'ts, and Netanyahu has fucking disregarded every single one. So, of course, it was pretty predictable that Netanyahu was also going to disregard this one. Oh, can't believe I dodged that. That's... I don't know if there's any way for me to avoid that. Yeah. What's up, Xylan? I'm throwing this away. I have no item. I am at your mercy. Mushroom. I don't know what that's really going to do for me right here. Holy crap! First? Man. What a finish. I'm actually going to clip that. Ah! Stop with the volume. Alright. Okay, cool. I'll worry about that clip later. I saw your Discord message, 1v3. Tornadoes don't really happen where I live, but, you know. At least not very often. It happens sometimes. Yeah, that would be critical if Joe Biden's administration was like actually going to do something more than just sort of hand waving and finger wagging and whatnot and like tut-tutting. That'd be interesting. Sort of reasserting like, hey man, look, you're our client state, right? Because like for whatever people say about the relationship between the U.S. and Israel, there are quite a few conspiracy theorists that'll say like, oh, Israel controls America and whatever. No, we control Israel. Israel is like an American outpost in the Middle East, like a friendly base of operations that we can use as a wedge against whoever else we decide is necessary to. And that means they do what we tell them to do. Otherwise, we decide to make some changes, maybe clean house a little bit. If that makes sense. Obviously, I've embellished, made it sound like a mafioso relationship for the sake of content. But really, what's going on is just that like there are geopolitical interests that America wants to pursue and that Israel wants to pursue, and America is the bigger dog in the fight right now, and like. So we act as the guarantor of Israel and a lot of their interests, because without us, they'd be pretty fucked. Whereas America can get along just fine without Israel. Okay, so far so good. Please don't give me a fake item box here. That would be tragic. Okay, that works. Ah, speaking of fake item box. Whoever's that was, you're a genius. It's a really risky trick, but it worked out. Also, you know, sometimes it seems kind of weird that there are certain tracks that I'm really good at, and there are certain tracks that I'm not. This track I'm really good at because I time trialed it back in the day. I used to do a lot of time trialing on this track specifically. I think I got below a 210 on this track, as like one of my personal best times. Obviously not like necessarily within sniffing distance of like world record or anything, but and it was on an older version of this track, which is why there are some tricks that I really just don't do. But there's like a core route that I just have down to muscle memory, more or less, on this track. And that's why I win a lot of the time when it gets picked. It's kind of weird being one of the old guard on CGGP now. And I say old guard as in like more familiar with tracks that are considered to be old. You know, obviously I'm not a competitive player. But like the new tracks I don't know as well, and then there are some people that don't know the old tracks very well, and I just find myself running circles around people. It's difficult for me to guess which tracks I will be like leading by far and away, and which one I'll be right in with the pack, and which one I'll be like lagging behind. Handle now. I remember Super Sky Courtyard getting removed, which was sad. Yeah, that track was so cool. It was so like fun and kooky and like goofy. Very, very silly track, and I appreciate it for that. Uh-oh. Careful. Careful, Silent. Shit, dude. Oh, that worked. Yeah, okay. Kind of needed to get rid of the item I was trailing more than anything, so I didn't have to trail it anymore. Ah, nice try. Get out of here. All these lines, dude! I've done some time trialing on this track as well. No! My lines were so sick for like a minute. Alright. No! Damn it. I didn't want to have to use that mushroom, but... Okay. These lines! What if I outline this guy? How sick would that be? Well, I drafted him. I don't know if that counts directly, but... God damn. I don't think he had an item. I think that made that a lot easier. Oof, what a race. What a race. It's a really nice day out today. It's been really fucking windy, though. It's apparently supposed to get a lot warmer this week, so there's a lot of wind blowing through because it's been cold, or at least cool the past couple weeks. So now that all that cold air is blowing out, and you know, when the wind blows, it blows. You guys have the sound on for when you get a message from Discord, for example. I do, and I think I saw your message earlier. Screaming in a tornado. Very true. Many such cases. Ah. Drift button wouldn't do what I wanted it to. This is not mirror mode. Nice. I love this track. Bro, I just keep getting drafts. The hell. And now I'm sitting fucking pretty in first place. You already told me that. I was hinting at something. I just need sent a few seconds ago. You consider review. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't get notifications from the content suggestions channel every time. I should probably change that. That'd be good. Yeah, I'll take a look at it in a minute. My lines don't need to be incredible. They just need to be good enough. Alright. Hmm. Alright. Whew. Good front running race. Let's check out this content suggestions. Film theory, don't trust your heroes. Ooh, that might be interesting. Here, nope, don't edit channel. Notifications. All mentions. There we or not all mentions, all messages. So now anytime somebody posts something in the content suggestions channel, I will get notified of it. Like, I'll get the sound. Nice. Yeah, that would be good to review. I might want to do that. I said I wanted to do more like content react stuff, and in fact, I was looking for things like that earlier today. 1v1 situation, yeah, dude. Um, this for all the marbles. Everything's on the line. You're probably gonna win. I'm not very good at 1v1 specifically. Oh, this track, it's over. It's over. I didn't get an item. It's Jover. Not even just over, but Jover. Not a 1v3? Nah. Yeah. What? We can't get any 1v3s in this Mario Kart room? I wonder. I remember you gotta go up here. Very silly track. Get that out of here. Oh yeah, I don't know how to do that section. So, it is... I bounced off of that, so it's mega over. What do I want to mention? Oh yeah, the film theorist stuff. Yeah, so there was that. That was a thing I wanted to do. Not that specifically, but like I've been looking for content react stuff. I saw there was somebody who I've reviewed a debate of before, Lonerbox, said he was doing a debate on like Israeli settlements with somebody, and I think that would be a good thing to review when it gets made into a video. I checked earlier and it hasn't been made into like a YouTube segment yet. But when it does, I will, I might do that. Oh, damn. That's a thing, huh? Alright, this is educational more than anything. I'm learning how the track works. Okay, I can do this. Okay, so you go this way, and then what? Okay. You do that. But yeah, that debate would be interesting to review, and then, you know, you gave me that Matt Pat thing. That would be good, too. I think it'd be good if I did more of that sort of genre of content. And then, of course, there was also the wiki article that I one of the final 4 videos from MatPat. Ah, I see. Okay, so that's how you do that. And then you do this, and then I can do this. And back in it, baby. No, I fucked up that part. Okay, well. Jover. Oh, dude, getting a fake item box? Mega Jover. That's actually a really good throw. No, it did. Imagine if that bomb landed on the other side. I was going for the mega clip there. Yeah. Tip throw was good, yeah. I'm gonna try to find another custom track room. We are doing it. Foziel, welcome to chat. Or welcome back, is it? I guess. Gonna piss real quick. Yeah, okay. We're doing it, but the things. Bro, he's cooking, but I don't know what he's cooking. I can't smell what he's cooking. Yeah, hello, welcome to chat. Yeah, there was that from Lonerbox. That debate between him and presumably somebody who's pro-settler in the West Bank. It's me, Colton. Lol, I just changed my name. Oh, okay. I gotcha. welcome back. And then that Matt Pat video would be a good one to do. I like doing debate reacts or debate reviews because I think it's important. That's a good vehicle for people to like get informed. Thanks, bro. Why were you away for so long? There are a couple reasons: motivation issues and work as well. Yeah, I guess sometimes I get burned out. And the weather, when the weather's bad, that doesn't help because I have seasonal depression. So like, people feel down when the weather's bad, but then when you have seasonal depression, you feel extra down when the weather's bad. Unfortunately, not being down bad, that's all actually quite nice, but, yeah. I'm trying to, I realize part of the thing that prevents me from streaming is because I put all this artificial pressure on myself to stream. It's a weird, like, paradox where if I'm like, man, I should stream, I have to stream, it makes me, like, less likely to stream because it's not something I enjoy being made to do. Like, even if I'm like, okay, I'm going to force myself to stream, I will usually end up enjoying it, but I don't usually like the prospect of forcing myself to do it. It's a weird balancing act where I want to be able to stream pretty regularly, but at the same time, I don't want it to feel like I'm doing homework and things like that. Yeah. Hopefully you'll be seeing more of me though in the future, because there are some things when I feel like I'm excited to do something on stream that motivates me to stream and like, yes, let's do it. Like as I was saying, debate reviews specifically because like obviously politics is important and I want to deliver my political perspective, but it sometimes it helps when I have something to piggyback off of or when it's not like in a vacuum. Like when, oh, here's this debate about this issue that I also have opinions on. Let's see who's advocating for what side of this in this debate and like how effectively they were making these points and whether I agree or disagree, things like that. Me enjoying critical analysis, it's always better to have something to critically analyze. I'm not good at freestyling. I can't just start rapping and dropping some fucking sick bars or something. Not good at that. There are people that are, but I'm not one of them. Why don't you just use Funky? Because I don't feel like it. I have the cool trans rights skin for Funky, so that's actually some incentive to use him. But I feel like sometimes it's nice to have something that distinguishes me in Worldwide, so I use my Mii. And I also have a really sick skin for the Mii. What happened to the guy who chopped his father's head off? I assume he's now in jail. I can check back on that in a little bit. That would be something good to follow up on. I would certainly hope that he's now in jail. They might have even handed him over to like federal prosecutors or something like that, depending on the severity of the crime. I don't know. But yeah, he's gonna go off to prison. I'm pretty sure. I mean, he literally showed his dad's head on camera to the whole world. So. Obviously, it'd be nice for the justice system to work swiftly and as intended with regards to, that kind of stuff. But I'm not a legal or judicial expert. I sort of market myself as a political junkie and whatnot. So the political implications of that are what I'm most equipped to talk about. I don't think he went to jail. He might be out on like on bail or something. I don't know, but maybe a mental asylum. Yeah, probably. I was gonna say that the most reasonable thing I could see them arguing is like, oh, this guy is obviously fucking insane and off his rocker, and is too mentally incompetent to like stand trial or whatever. Here, let me see. Pennsylvania man. All these stories are from early February, late January. Justin Mon. Okay. Gale? Send that man to Detroit? Detroit doesn't deserve that. Send him to Florida. Here we go. New York Post. Not usually. Oh yeah, okay. USA Today. Pennsylvania man charged with terrorism. So he's been charged with terrorism. Baltimore. There we go. Yeah. Send him to fucking Fort Lauderdale. Ah, yes. Pennsylvania man charged with beheading his father and calling for a violent overthrow of the federal government may have also been planning on an attack on federal buildings, officials said on Thursday. Yeah, terrorism, because he planned to, like, blow some public buildings up. And things like that. And also beheaded his father as a political statement, not just as a random act of insanity. Like, he was politically motivated, which is, you know... those kinds of crimes are usually we refer to as terrorism. What are y'all talking about? Daphne's, welcome to chat. We're talking about the guy that the guy from Pennsylvania that beheaded his own dad because his dad voted for Biden. Beheading? Yeah, a little while ago there was a story broke about a guy in Pennsylvania who went absolutely fucking insane and beheaded his own dad, and it was like plotting to blow up a federal building or something. And so we were talking about that because it's Chatter asked like if there was a follow up on that story, because you know that's pretty big. That somebody is so insane that they just, like, behead a member of their own family. We do politics on this stream, you see. So, you know, it's a lot of clowning around. I hope Biden wins again just to watch the meltdown that occurs. Yeah, that would be pretty legendary to see that meltdown. Although here's the thing, right? One interesting thing about the Republican base is they're not as insane. It's gonna sound weird, but Republican voters are on average not as insane as the politicians that they elect on average, right? So yeah, there'll be a meltdown. You know, some people will probably be like upset and mad, and there might be another like, oh, the election was stolen again. But you know, we'll see. We'll see. Jeez, I need something more than just a fake item here. And like aside from what Biden has been doing in Israel, he's actually made a pretty compelling case for himself otherwise. Whoa. Weird air there. Like, Joe Biden, a lot of people gave him shit, including myself, for the strike breaking that he did in late 2022. But in 2023 and up until this year, he's made a record of being a very pro-labor president. You know, being very, very vocally supportive of people who organize unions, being willing to work with Sean Fain, who is like openly anti-capitalist, and you know, that has breathed, I think, new life into like the American labor movement and all that. That's gonna do a lot for him, I think. And you know, with that stuff, it actually made me want to vote for him. The primaries don't end until September. Really? Oh yeah, I know some states have primaries pretty late. What I mean is Trump is running for president again, right? Yes, he is. Trump is the presumptive nominee for the Republicans. Like Wapeach for Smash said, the primaries aren't fully over yet, but it's presumed that since Joe Biden really doesn't have any big challengers, he's going to be the nominee. And then because Trump also, all of his opponents have already dropped out of the race, he's going to be the nominee for the Republicans. So it's going to be 2020 all over again. We're gonna get a fucking geriatric cage fight. Let's go. He threw a temper tantrum after losing 2020. If he loses 2024 as well, oh yeah, absolutely. He's gonna do the same thing. You know, obviously the conservative movement in the United States is doing everything possible to leverage their like institutional presence to like make sure that Trump has an easier time winning in 2024, and that if he wins, they'll just be able to like snap their fingers and make democracy go away. But like at the end of the day, it's still Trump, and that turns a lot of people off. So he might still just not win the election at all. And that's not like the end of it by any stretch, but like it's gonna be a massive setback to the Republicans because they don't really have a charismatic figure that isn't Trump. Another 2 rounds of grandpas duking it out. Yeah, let's go. It'll be great. Anxious to see Trump's running mate. Yeah, I wonder who he's going to pick. I think, okay, I've heard some other people say this, and it fits with like what I've seen Trump doing and stuff like that. Trump loves to surround himself with attractive women because of like fucking status symbol, business guy, billionaire, you know, whatever, right? I'm not American, but I want to laugh the next 4 years. Can't wait for the comedians. Yeah, I mean, you can laugh anyways. Trump wins or loses. I don't think he's gonna like immediately go away. We're gonna laugh this man into the grave. But for like Trump's running mate, right? I think he's actually he's going to try to pick like an attractive woman for his running mate, but also somebody who's gonna be like demure and submissive, which is gonna be really fucking weird. But like, yeah. Republicans probably will also want to go in on that line because it enables them to be like, oh, look, woman vice president, like the Democrats did. See, we're not sexist, or something like that. But because Republicans are actually sexist and hate women, they can't have they can't have like a woman who has a mind of her own or is willing to act on her own sort of political values and whatever. So, you know, he has already fucked enough. So I just want to numb the pain. You know what? Understandable. I totally get it. Yeah, Trudeau in Canada has been really well, Trudeau and his government. I shouldn't put the blame all on him, even though like I think a lot of this is his fault. You know, he's got the whole parliament and stuff as well. It's not been great for Canada. I don't know. Trump's definitely not going to pick Mike Pence again because we saw how that went in 2021. People were saying, like, a lot of people outside the Capitol building when the riots happened, they were chanting "Hang Mike Pence." I don't think they're too keen to welcome him back into the fold. I could see, let's see, Christine Noem. She's a Republican governor. Trump might pick her. He might pick Lauren Boebert, maybe. I don't know. Carrie Lake, possibly, as well. Because she's just a Trump sycophant. Mystic Tangle. I think I remember what this one was. Oh, yeah, okay, it's this. Oh yeah, that's a thing, huh? What's going on here? Okay. You know what's interesting? For all the talk about Republican politicians being fascists, which they are, um, there's an interesting thing that I think people should take note of when they're looking at politics and stuff, and that is that Republicans still have to virtue signal in some measure to progressive values, like anti-racism, like feminism, maybe not in name, but like female empowerment, whatever, and things like that. Because being racist in the United States, like if you legit just are racist and you're like, man, I don't like black people, uh, then it's like a politically untenable thing to believe. You know, even people who support policies that are racist, you could go up to them and they don't like the idea of racism. It's like, no, I don't like racism. I think that's bad. And they certainly do some racist tropes, like the whole one of the good ones thing. But like the racism and sexism that exists today is quite a bit different from the racism and sexism that existed in the 1950s and 60s. And Republicans are trying to push the envelope backwards. They're trying to like operate on a state of politics where you could just do that, but they can't. They have to appeal to some like, oh, we don't hate women. We just think da 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 da, right? Or like we think men and women are equal, of course, but we think a woman's place is blah 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 blah. Um, you know what I mean? Because otherwise, if they go too overtly leaning into the racism, into the sexism, anti-Semitism, and whatever, their base would turn on them because that transcends the boundary of what a lot of people see between like politics and the interpersonal, which obviously the two of those are connected in very complex ways. But for a lot of people, politics is very abstract, so they can sort of rationalize or deal with and accept racist things in the abstract because to them it's not racist. But when you get to the interpersonal level, people are much more sensitive to racism, and that changes with language. When language is very overt, that touches like the interpersonal nerves, and people are like, "Whoa, now that's not okay." Like when a grand wizard of the KKK runs for office, yeah, they'll get a lot of Republican votes and stuff. But if you ask the average Republican voter their opinion on the KKK, like back in the day, like when it was really active, when it was going around on horseback lynching people, a la Birth of a Nation or whatever, they would say that's bad and believe that. Do you think there's any hope for the minimum wage? Yes and no. I think, you know what? I think yes. I think there is hope for the minimum wage. In insofar as like wages are going to increase as long as we see the labor movement get stronger. One of the big failings of the United States is that we need to have such a concerted debate about around the minimum wage, because usually the more prominent a minimum wage is as a topic in politics, the weaker unions need to be. Because if unions are very strong, then they're capable to set wages at a pretty high level that would be pretty ubiquitously above the minimum wage. Obviously, I think that floor should still be there. But I think the minimum wage being raised to such a level that people will all be able to live off of it, like if wages kept up with productivity, or even if we just adjusted the like fight for 15 from back in like 2015 to today's money, if we adjusted that for inflation, then we should be saying like, oh, we need a like $22 minimum wage and stuff, because that would be a living wage. That'd be a wage where like you on your own could support yourself. And I don't think that's going to happen because of God, how do I even explain this? I don't really know how to explain it. probably because of the implications of a like mandatory minimum wage and whatever. Like when people say that like if you have such a high minimum wage, people will just raise their prices. That is true after you go beyond a certain point, and unfortunately, it seems to be the case that if you tag the minimum wage at a living wage, then everything's gonna always be like ever so slightly more expensive than what people can pay for. But what's better at bridging that gap is unionization, because unions are a lot more decentralized and a lot less clumsy in terms of wage setting and policy making. And they are inside of the companies that engage in this really scummy like price setting behavior. So the hope is that the minimum wage becomes a little bit less of a topic that people focus on as unionization increases, because unions will be the primary actors setting wages, and then the federal government and state government saying this is the minimum wage for this state or this area. That hopefully will become sort of a backup. Does that make sense? I know I was waffling for a little bit there. Um, but yes, I do think there's hope for the minimum wage, but not so much that it will ascend to the point of having a living wage. Uh, because there's always like cost cutting and job instability and all sorts of stuff that corporations do that will sort of inch ahead of that. And I think the best way for people's wages to be accounted for and for people to get proper wages is for unions to be at the helm of pro-labor politics. And, you know, for the government to take a much more preferential view of unions than big companies. I think that would be good. Got somebody. Although I should mention right now, it doesn't seem like the minimum wage is getting talked about all that much in Congress or in politics in general. There's certainly, you know, debates happening on a state level in some areas, but Congress doesn't seem like it's paying so much attention to the minimum wage right now. So far, so good. I'm racing pretty good this time. Alright, cool. Green shell. Yay! First place. Shit. Love to see you answering their questions while you're cooking on the muck bike. I love it too, because it's like it's double the good content. I get to be driving well, so that's nice for people to watch, and then I also get to be like providing it what I think is valuable political analysis for people to listen to. So it's I'm cooking for people's eyes and ears. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Random. I'm a big appreciator of the random button. Uh, Ooh, there was something that I wanted to mention for quite a while. It like was never on my list of stuff, but I will enjoy analog horror series from time to time, and I also like listening to creepypastas, internet horror stories, and whatever that people will just write just because. And there's a through line through all of them that I think is very interesting that I wanted to at least bring up and see if anybody else notices this, right? Um, a lot of they deal a lot with eldritch horror, which is something that's very fascinating to me because it's like people can conceptualize it a little bit differently if you do it right, in the way that's like, oh, this was truly indescribable. What little I could describe, it was kind of like this. I don't know, and then people can form like it's almost like personalized horror, like your brain sort of fills in some of the gaps. I love that. But then there's also the there's a constant like helplessness in a lot of horror series, and if you want to like, well, I can't get ahead of myself too much here. Helplessness is obviously a good thing to have in horror series, but in analog horror, a lot of times there's sort of the trend of like, oh, here's this like government agency that put out this PSA and things like that. This is like oh, this is how the government is handling this issue and whatever. And it got me thinking with stuff like the Mandela catalog. This was kind of mentioned, and then I think with Greylock and Vita Carnus are two other analog horror series. If you know, you know. If you don't, that's fine. That mention these like government agencies that are investigating and in some ways kind of containing the analog horror monsters as much as they can. And to me, it's very interesting because they like it's almost like one of the ways that they sell the horror of these monsters is to effectively communicate to you these horrors are so abject that now the controlled violence of the state becomes necessary for ensured human existence, right? It's like, oh, we all have our criticisms of the government or whatever, but like it's necessary for this stuff. Like the existence of police and the military for protecting private property rights and whatever, for ensuring the interests of private property owners and whatever, is actually necessary because of how abject this horror is, and we wouldn't be able to deal with it any other way than to have a militarized or quasi-militarized administrative state. Which I think is a really interesting concept. And I think that, for me, is some of the more subtle and unspoken horror of a lot of analog horror genres. That, like, it's almost a confirmation of the end of history narrative that, like, yeah, the liberal capitalist state actually is necessary in the face of something like the Alternates or the Vita Carnus monsters or whatever else. Oh, by the way, Y2K, you heard of Portugal now turning to rightism also? Yes, I did hear about that. And I think I don't have too much to offer that's different from other European countries doing the same, where, like, I think Portuguese politics are actually pretty cooked as well. Hopefully, they follow the Dutch example, and all the right-wing parties start infighting, and the government collapses. And then they do that 7 more times until the left-wing party eventually gets elected again. That'd be good. But yeah, it was kind of disappointing because the primary member of that coalition, that right-wing coalition that's about to form, how to fix rightism. Yeah. One of the most disappointing things, also one of the most noteworthy things, is that the Social Democratic Party is part of the right-wing coalition in Portugal. They have, like, most of the time in European countries, the social democrats will be like center or like a little bit left. They'll hang out mostly with the socialists, and they'll work with them. They'll work with the Green Party, you know. But it seems like in Portugal that there's sort of, you know, they've been like, fuck it. We're just right wing now. The social democrats in Portugal, which is you know. For me, it's kind of like an acceleration to the logical endpoint of what social democracy was always going to end up being, right? Like, the moment social democracy ended its revolutionary aspirations and its working class politics, this was always sort of doomed to happen, where social democrats align actually not too infrequently with the right wing. Because at the end of the day, they're not socialists, they're capitalists, they're liberals. You know? Ow. How to fix rightism. Government collapse. No, Bean Corner! About this advertisement, why this ad? You're not seeing this ad based on one or more of the following. Content of the page you're viewing when the ad. Displayed your approximate location, your past activity on Amazon website services. Dandy Tech? The fuck? Are you getting ads? That shouldn't be happening. Guys, if anybody's getting ads, I'm very sorry. That shouldn't be happening. I have ads disabled on the stream. There shouldn't be any pre-roll or mid-roll ads on the stream. I don't know what Twitch is cooking, but it's not something that I like. Because, like, look, I'm accepting that I'm, like, not making any money on the stream, even though I have, like, I don't know, there's a couple people that subscribe to me. I'm not going to be making money on the stream for quite a while. Ad revenue isn't going to make any difference. So I usually prefer not to sully the experience with advertisements, right? But I guess Twitch just decided that they don't value creator input, and they don't value creator preferences, and they're just going to force ads onto my stream anyway. Kind of lame, honestly. Is that shortcut still there? No, it is not. Nice. A shock dodge. Combined with the best item in the game! Didn't we already have too much of those? Yeah, I thought so. Here, where is the... Here, settings. Stream channel. You know what? I might need to go in after stream and double check to make sure that ads are 100% turned off. Schedule your ad minutes? What? Why are ads enabled? They shouldn't be enabled. Low. Zero. What? No. I don't want ads on my channel. How do I change this? Ad schedule. Activate this schedule to start running ads on your channel. The schedule's off. I shouldn't be getting ads on this channel. What? That's annoying as hell. Lame. Lame. I'll look that up. I'm gonna like specifically look up how to disable ads on my live stream, because I don't want people to like come here and then just get barraged with ads and stuff. Like, I'm not making any money off of this except for, well, actually I'm just not making any money off this at all. I don't want it to be like a bad experience or even like an annoying experience on top of that. Geodudes. You're not getting paid? No, Twitch doesn't pay out if you make less than $10 a month. I've not gotten any receipt or paycheck from Twitch in my email, like none. I just stream for the hell of it, really. Like, eventually, the hope is, right, that I would eventually get enough of an audience that I could get, like, I don't know, some people would subscribe and donate and stuff, and then I would get paid that way, and then in that case, maybe I would run, like, a 30-second ad every now and then, because that would actually matter, like, it would actually make a difference to how much money I make, which would be great, because I love doing this. But, like, here it just adds serve no point, right? Even though I'm affiliate. Me being affiliate just means, like, I average more than 3 viewers per stream, and I have, like, I've streamed a certain amount, and I also have, like, so many followers or whatever. Which is cool, because it's, like, a certain degree of legitimacy, but, you know. Pokemon track, I remember playing this for the first time and only time. We lost hard. Yeah, this track can be can go all sorts of wacky different ways. Fortunately, the layout isn't that complicated, but it can be very easy to get tripped up on one of the many things on this track, like our friend Geodude. All right, go. I'm gonna get first, idiot. No. Okay, I got first. The weirdest golden mushroom of all time. Probably got time for like one more race and then I'll call it there. This has been a good session. Yeah, shoutouts to Portugal for the left-wing government doing a good thing in the form of decriminalizing drugs, and then they immediately defunded all the things that made it a good policy choice, and then lost. Fucking hell. Chilling with Kitty on my lap? Ooh. I love that. I love when Kitty sit on lap. That's always so cute. You know, my cat has actually been a lot better lately. You'll be glad to hear this, because you've seen her on stream. You know what she does. She's actually stopped scratching up my chair as much. And she knows that I know what she wants, and she doesn't have to scratch up my chair to get my attention. So instead of that, she'll just climb up and sit on top of the chair and, like, look out the window. And that's my indication of, like, okay, she wants to go outside. So she is no longer breaking my nice things, which is very cool. And she also sometimes, when she really wants my attention, she'll just come and sit on my lap. And, you know. Super cute. Well, what happened to everybody? Oh, did somebody have triple red? I bet somebody had triple reds, and everybody just got owned. I'm saving these mushrooms for something. I don't 100% know what, but yeah. It'll be something. No! Okay, this is what I'm saving for. Sounds like a railgun, but looks like a cute fluff ball. Oh. Like they have a really hoarse sounding meow, like a really raspy. I used to have a cat like that. He went for it with that bomb. Nice try, buddy. Three mushrooms again. Now I know where to use this better than before. Sick. So far, so good. I'm driving pretty good this race. Overall, at least. I didn't get hit by that. Need this item. Ah, perfect. That works out really well for me. Well, would you look at that? Ain't that convenient? First place finish. Yes. Alright. Whew. That's been a good stream. You know, there could be some good segment material in there. I don't know. I might want to make some of that into a segment. We call it Calico Cat. Lapis Pus? Pus being... Yeah, Pus being cat, and Lapis referring to the color templates. So I guess she's a real lap cat. Yeah, I guess. GG Silent MK. Good shit. Good shit. Always mad respect for using dry bones in the fucking bullet bike on Custom Track Worldwides, where it's basically Bump City all the time. Anyways. GS, good stream. Yeah, it was a good stream. I'm gonna now go... Oh, I'm gonna go find somebody to raid, and I'll do the usual stuff after stream of, like, export the stream VOD, whatever. And then I'm going to... Well, I'm going to do the thing with the clip, and then I'm going to specifically look at if I can, like, hard disable ads on my stream, because you guys should not be seeing those. Especially since, like, I don't know. Yeah. Alright, Cody Schwab is live. Winning Collision? Bro, he's trained. Good luck with the ads. Thank you. I will try. Raid Cody Schwab. Yes. Alright, cool. My man's is Grinding Melee. You can find him at a pretty consistent, like, pretty consistently does that. I'll see you guys next time.